I don't know if I'm going to make it because I'm still at the airport. I just went to the wrong testing room. I have my Harvard physics final exam in 6 hours and I'm currently on the other side of the country. Gotta work. I feel like these past few months I've been so busy, I haven't had the time to actually sit in front of the camera with you guys. I feel like my life is a lot more boring than most people think. Like, I genuinely just wake up at 5 a.m. and I work for 6 to 7 hours. I go to the gym, I go to classes, and then I take meetings and I do more work. I will say the past semester has definitely been one of the most challenging semesters of my life. But I think after doing a lot of reflection, I've realized that with every path you choose in life comes its own unique challenges. And I definitely understand that the challenges that I face are because I'm in a position of privilege. I go to a very amazing school, Harvard. I'm running an amazing business. And so I think at the end of the day, even though it's definitely like one of the hardest semesters I've ever faced in my entire life, I feel like I'm very grateful. Okay, let me think about a few key milestones that have happened this past semester so I can catch you guys up. So first, I would say definitely hosting my team retreat and being able to see everyone in person was honestly so unreal. It just made me think about how much my life has changed the past 2 years. And every single one of my team members, I'm so grateful for. They are the reason why Ultimate Ivy League Guide is the way that it is today. And it's been able to make the impact that it has because of the team. And so that was amazing. Second, I gave a lecture at Harvard Medical School about cancer research alongside Dr. Robert Weinberg. Him and his team were the one that mapped the first tumor suppressor gene in retinoblastoma. Other things, I've been running C House or Harvard Street Commons at Harvard, which is Harvard and MIT's #1 founders/entrepreneurs house. So I've been hosting a lot of community dinners and events, and that has also brought me so much purpose as well. Okay, so I prepared my matcha right here. I think my addiction to matcha is so bad at this point that it actually needs to be studied. Like, I remember I went to the doctor the other week and they were like, how much matcha do you drink? And I was like, I don't really know if you want to know because it's like not great. But I've also been getting into hojicha lately, guys. I think I honestly average at least 2 to 3 matchas a day and then maybe a hojicha as well. Time to prepare my matcha shot. Delicious green goodness. Every time I have taken a matcha shot before a final exam, I have aced it. And so I genuinely believe this will get me through the next 6 hours. So when I say this has been my most challenging semester, I don't necessarily mean the most academically challenging, although it has been like very academically challenging, especially because of this class, to be honest. But I think I've been dealing a lot with this pressure of not wanting to let people down, especially the people I care about and the people that put a lot of trust in me. So my team members, you guys, the families that we work with. I think because I am the front face of Ultimate Ivy League Guide, I feel like I feel this extreme pressure to make sure that everything I put out does well for the business and for our students and for everyone else that's watching my content. But at the same time, as my channels have grown a lot over the past few months, I want to be very, very careful that I wield my influence in the right way. And that means making sure that you guys are informed with the right information, making sure that I don't make any mistakes on my end. Of course, I'm human, so yes, I make mistakes, but I think there's this like extreme pressure I feel of balancing, you know, making sure the business does well, making sure my platforms do well, making sure that you guys stay informed. It's like all of these psychological pressures that I feel that has been taking up a lot of my mind space. And I think as my platforms grow too, of course there's going to be a lot of negativity that comes with it, and I think sometimes it can be really unfortunate whenever I do see people incorrectly interpret my intentions or they make up lies about me on the internet. I think I don't care much if people believe in incorrect statement about me, because I know my own truth and I know that I'm aligning myself with my own values, and that's the best thing that I could do. And so I would rather know that I am holding myself to very high integrity, but people have an incorrect interpretation of me, than being dishonest with myself and people have a positive interpretation of me. But I think it's that pressure of making sure that the people that put a lot of trust in me and the people I care about, they are not affected by how other people perceive me, if that makes sense. I feel like that's the unspoken truth about the reality of being a content creator and also an entrepreneur, is it can be a very lonely process, in the sense that you're dealing with a lot of small issues that you can't necessarily fully explain to someone. But honestly, it's okay. I feel like I've been embracing challenges a lot. I even have this quote written in my room that says something along the lines of, if you knew that success was 10 failures away, why would you ever want to keep running away from failure, right? I think it's really important, if you are young, in your teenage years, in your 20s, to put yourself in situations where you are likely to fail, because that will allow you to get comfortable with uncomfortable situations, and that will allow you to just learn a lot quicker so that you can succeed in the long term. So that is my advice for you guys. Okay, so I have my physics notes written right here. Honestly, I'm going to study on the airplane right before my exam, and then once I land in Boston, I'm going to literally Uber straight to my exam, because I don't even have time to like drop off my bags or anything. I feel like I've been traveling a lot, mainly either because I need to film content, I need to speak to certain people, or I get invited to speak at conferences. Like a couple weeks ago too, I was invited to speak at 2 Harvard entrepreneurship conferences. So that was a lot of fun. So I feel like I just hop between like speaking things, filming a lot of content while I'm doing that, scripting a lot of content, working with my team, onboarding students, talking to students, trying to handle school with it, running C House at Harvard too. And so that's a little bit about like what my life actually looks like. Wish me luck, guys. I'm gonna run through it on the airplane. Just got off my flight, but honestly we are cutting it close. I honestly don't know if I'm going to make it to my exam because I'm still at the airport. I just ordered my Lyft, so the countdown began. Okay, I don't know where my Lyft is. I feel like the best way to study right before an exam is to do a bunch of practice questions. And luckily, over the course of the semester, I always like to compile the most challenging questions that I come across. And so I always do those right before an exam, because it gives me a comprehensive review of the exam, and it allows me to tackle the most difficult questions, so that the actual exam will be a lot easier. Oh my god, I just went to the wrong testing room. Believe it or not, I made it, guys. Last exam of the semester. Okay, so I just got out of my exam, and honestly it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to finish every question, but I ended up finishing 30 minutes early, and it wasn't that bad, so I feel pretty good. I'm heading right to the airport again because I have a flight to New York to catch. It's around 5 p.m. and my flight leaves at 7 p.m. so I am very, very strict on time right now, but let's get to the airport once again. So I got a couple things from the lounge here that they have to try, so we're gonna taste test. The first one is this cauliflower. This looks pretty good. I'm a huge fan of cauliflower. We have some salad here. Okay, not bad. I think this is shrimp and beets, if you guys can see it. Pretty good as well. And then some chicken and rice. That one was not as good, but these are good. Overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. The best part about having a remote job is that I can work at any time and anywhere I want, but then the worst part about having a remote job is I end up working all the time and everywhere. For example, whenever I was taking my physics exam, I came up with a content idea and then I started like scripting it out on my actual exam, and I was like, oh my goodness, I need to lock in and finish this exam. But at the same time, I was thinking of work. So I think one thing that's been kind of hard to explain to a lot of my friends is that running a business and being a content creator at the same time, it takes away a lot of your mental freedom. And so I think a lot of people, whenever they look at my life, they're like, oh, I want your life. And I'm like, I don't really know if you want my life. I think you might want my results, but you might not want my lifestyle. So I have a little bit of time before my flight, so I'm just going to script up some content, watch some meetings as well, just to quality check what's happening on my team, and then schedule / prepare the content that I need to film tomorrow whenever I get to New York. Tomorrow morning I'm also doing office hours for my students, and then right after that I will spend a lot of time filming content and scripting content. And so I just want to prepare what types of topics that I want to outline tomorrow, since that will kind of help me prime my brain to get in the creative mode before the day even starts tomorrow. So if you guys can see right here, I'm currently scripting out some YouTube videos. This one is going to be about the differences between Harvard, Princeton, and Yale. Wait guys, I told the bartender I don't drink alcohol, so they made me some free mocktails. We'll taste test. This is a grapefruit one. It's very refreshing. It's good. Yeah. Thank you. I love fruits, so. My friend Finn is letting me stay at his place in New York. New furniture. I haven't been here in months. I didn't even, like, last time I was here, they did not have these couches. They didn't have the TV. Okay. Finn is letting me graciously stay in his room, and look at this amazing view. Like, isn't this insane? Like, imagine Fit Pics here. Finn, if you are watching this, thank you so much. I love you and I appreciate you so much. If you guys don't know, Finn was my roommate for like a year, and then he moved to New York and I didn't know. And then I pulled up to New York one day and I was like, hey Finn, can I like crash at your place? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then I come and I'm just like, what is this place? This is amazing. Like, so before I end my day, I do have a few words of advice. While I was on my plane, I was scrolling through my Instagram DMs and I read a few messages from you guys, and you guys were telling me how you got into Stanford and Barnard and all of your dream schools. And I sat there and I almost teared up because you guys were telling me about your story and how you thought that achieving a dream like this wasn't possible, but nonetheless you were able to. And I think that made me think a lot about what I've been reflecting on lately about happiness that I want to share with you guys as well. So I feel like a lot of the times everyone tries to chase happiness, but I truly believe that happiness does not come from power, money, or recognition of any sort. I think what I've come to realize is that happiness is not a destination, but rather it's a direction. And you can become happier whenever you choose a life of meaning and purpose. And I think for me, the life that I chose with Ultimate Ivy League Guide and building this platform and making content, that has brought so much meaning and purpose to me that I continuously feel like I am getting happier every day. Despite all of the challenges that I run into, I will still choose that path. And so I want to challenge you guys to write down what are the values by which you want to live, and what do you genuinely believe in, and are your actions acting in accordance with those beliefs and values? Because I genuinely think that if you can get your actions to align with your values, that is how you are able to create a happier life. And I truly believe that becoming happier genuinely is a choice. And if you live authentically to yourself, I promise you that it does not matter what people say to you, whatever happens in your life, you will be at peace. And so I'm going to leave you guys at that. But thank you so much for joining me on this slightly chaotic journey. This was all within 18 hours, guys. I just love you guys so much. You are the reason why I show up every single day, and you guys mean so much more to me than you will ever know. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.